Are you ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go. Great. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Somers Town Board regular meeting, starting here at 7:05 for Thursday, January 12th, 2023. Before we start, let's do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sure, I think that these sorts of I get the crummy chair. Talk this way.
Over there.
I don't know about you guys, but it's nice over here.
Good. So Patty, can we please start with roll call, please?
Sure. Councilman William G. Buckner.
Here.
Councilman Richard B. Clinton.
Here.
Councilman Anthony.
Here.
Councilman Thomas.
Here.
Supervisor Robbie Scarano.
Here.
Tony, can you just state for the record where you are located?
I'm in Barbella Isles in Naples, Florida.
And you're in a public location, right?
Yes.
Right.
All righty. That's the other way. So I'd like to I'll make a motion to open a public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is anybody here for public comment? Paul, anybody out there on Zoom? All right. And if there's no one here for public comment, then I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Approval of minutes. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moved. Patty, department reports.
I have reports from the town clerk, building inspector, zoning board of appeals, plumbing bureau, fire prevention, parks and recreation, planning and engineering, tax receiver, and director of finance.
Okay. That's a lot of reports. So we have some business of the board here for this evening. We usually start the business of the board here with the COVID-19 update. I want to let everybody know that there will be no more COVID-19 updates moving forward. The county used to get their information from the state, and New York State is no longer going to be providing that information. So we won't have the numbers for you to present. So unfortunately, where the website has been taken down and we don't have access to it. So we're not going to be reporting the numbers any longer. Maybe we'll try to find something else that we can put in that slot.
But rest assured, if we see an uptick in numbers or anything out of the ordinary, the supervisor will make everybody aware of it.
Yeah, kind of like what we did the last time. We'll probably get some updates. You know, when we talked about RSV, we talked about the flu, we talked about COVID-19. If we get reports from Northern Westchester Hospital or any other thing, Department of Health, we'll make sure that we pass that information on to you guys. Next up here, the new Westchester tax exemption laws. We have our town assessor here, Teresa Stegner. If you could come up here and give a little bit of what's going on.
Okay, let me go.
Come right up there. And if you state your
What do you
name
want?
and not so
Where do I want to go?
like I butchered it. Be great.
Yes, my name is Teresa Stegner.
Stegner.
Stegner, Stegner. I'm the assessor for the town of Somers. I've been the assessor for 11 plus years.
Wow, hasn't been that long.
Oh, yeah. It's been that. I'm sorry. It's been that long. Yes. It's been wonderful. So I'm here to discuss the senior citizen exemption. I'm not exactly sure what you want me to touch on. This does involve real property tax law. So I'm glad that Roland is here because he will correct me if I make a mistake. So
Is there just a high level explanation, definition you can give us?
So for the senior citizen partial tax exemption, I don't know if anyone looked at the information that was provided on the website, but essentially it's for those 65 years of age and older who turn 65 by the end of the year, who have what they consider limited incomes. Now, the income limit currently is a maximum of $37,399.99. And unlike the enhanced star exemption, it counts not just adjusted gross, it counts all income, taxable and non-taxable income. So there are, and also in the handout, it goes over some of these specifics regarding what income is required. So a couple of things changed this year. One of the things is the limits that can be adopted can be higher. Right now, the maximum amount at 50% is 29,000. And then there's that sliding scale of 5%. Basically, for each $1,000 you make an income, you lose about 5% in exemption. So right now we're at 29,000, which goes to 37,399 at 5%. And then the board could adopt up to $50,000 at 50% with the sliding scale to $58,399.99. So, but you can adopt anything in between. Anyone who gets the exemption, basically everyone pays for it in an increased tax rate. So I am the denominator in the tax rate equation. Taxable assessed value, which is used to the levy is what the town board decides must be spent in taxes, and then collected in taxes, and then I am the, like I said, denominator to come up with the tax rate. Every time someone gets a reduction, it lowers that taxable assessed value and raises the tax rate. So you have to, weigh the benefit to your residents who would be able to get this exemption to everyone else who won't get it. So
Did you say how
That's
many
what-
residents there were?
right now that are getting this exemption, there are 87.
87.
Oh, okay.
That is all. So when I started 11 plus years ago, there were 260, and now we're down to 87. And that's partially due to the fact that the limits stayed the same. Whereas with the enhanced star, they raise the income limit every year pretty much. I mean, sometimes it stays the same for a year or two, but generally they've been raising the limit on the enhanced star. They haven't done that with the senior citizen exemption. So less and less people have been eligible for it.
Is that enhanced star limit raised based on CPI or is it just somewhat?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure how the state calculates that, but I'm sure it's related to that. So right now for this year, based on your 2021 income tax return, it's $93,200 or less. And that's adjusted gross minus taxable IRA. So it's line 11 minus 4B.
Of course. Is that when you say adjusted gross, is that a married couple filing, or that's it?
Yeah. So if the owner has a spouse, even if they're not an owner, you have to count the income of both. So it's the income of all owners and non-owner spouses is counted for this.
So this exemption is going up to what level now? This is not star though, right? This is.
No, well, let's talk about the senior citizen, not the star.
Yeah.
We got off track. So you don't have to do anything. You can choose not to change the limits. That's completely up to you. Or you can change them anywhere between 3,000 and 50,000 at the 50% level. And then we've already adopted the sliding scale. So that will be added.
And what did you say the 50% level is now?
29,000.
So if we were to go to 50,000, how many residents will participate?
Well, I had to estimate that. So I had done a little bit of quick math. I can't be certain, but I thought it would be around 350. It would probably decrease the taxable assessed value by about 1%, raising your taxes by about 1%.
So that's about $80,000. That's about $80,000 that would be shifted into the tax base.
Right. Tax levy wise.
So, I mean, we could do this in steps, like you said, so you don't have to do the full.
Correct. So you could do it in steps. In fact, you did it in steps the last time you adopted this back in 2007, 6 or 7, I believe. So it was done, increased a little bit each year for 4 years, I believe.
You did it over 4 years?
I think you did over 4 years. Yeah.
But I think what Rich was saying is this wasn't means tested like the other thing we were talking about. And so that's why the number dropped to 87 residents.
Right.
Okay.
So if we wanted to do something to the effect of increase it, again, just say we did it like we did last time, go up $4,000 a year. Do we have to do it every year new, or can we put a plan in place right at the beginning that says every year we'll go up $4,000 or $5,000?
I think you'd have a schedule. that
We'd have a
shows-
schedule.
It's get-
That's why was my question.
Yeah.
If we would have a schedule now. Okay.
You won't have to do a new local law every year.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Tell you that my other towns have gone all in.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're not
Because
going
that's
to.
what the county did.
County did
Right, the
that.
county did that. They went all,
All in.
Right.
Schools have gone all in.
Oh, have,
I don't know what Somers has done,
No.
I have not heard
but
from,
the other schools have gone all in. So
Mhm.
Teresa has to calculate the full extent of the law for the county assessment anyway.
correct.
Yeah, I was just comparing it to what we did for the last time, so I'm not saying that's how I'm suggesting we do it.
No.
well, that's good
Say
information.
the last time was
I think that's
2007 or
always-
2017?
The last time it was changed?
Yeah.
No, 2007. I think it was actually before that, 2005, maybe?
Okay, so 20 years.
And we raised it up until 2009, I think was the last time we.
So is it fair
changed
to-
for the 2000,
Fair to
yeah.
say that this won't happen yet again for another
I would
15, 20
guess that
years
would probably be the case.
for planning purposes. Okay.
And you said that
That's why-
this would affect,
Yeah, I'm fine with all of that.
you think about 300 and something people in town.
Yeah, I think 350. That's, based on the numbers that I ran, that I don't really know for certain,
Of
Of course,
of course.
but, and I don't know if it's 1%. It could be more than that. But
Probably
that's-
around $80,000, which is about 1% of the tax.
right, which is about 1%,
Which
will be
translates.
shifted. Yes. So it'll be shifted. So those people get
Yeah,
an
I mean, I
exemption
think
will
it's
get
important,
that,
but-
and then everyone will pay for that.
If
Right.
this happens, it's not that the town receives less money.
No,
It's
it's
just
nothing to
that
do
it
about the
shifts.
money. It's
Some
the,
group less,
yes,
other group more,
I mean, we're
correct.
helping out our disadvantaged seniors.
as.
Right.
And we'll all be there one day. We'll be.
Some of some of us might be there already.
Quickly, yeah. So,
You know, we hold our attorney in high esteem.
I know.
I do not think.
That was the guy coughing up a lung.
So that's
I didn't know town board meetings were fun. I'm sorry.
Bringing fun back.
You should have been here for Crazy Sweater Day.
So Teresa, just
We still haven't
explain a little.
gotten the results back from the people who were watching.
Teresa,
So, also in regard to the senior citizen exemption, there is now a requirement that we send out a notice to all residential property owners that they may be entitled to the senior citizen exemption. It's called the second notice because the first notice is on the back of the tax bill. So it could be similar to the wording that's on that tax bill. It could be sent out in a postcard. I would prefer a letter to have a little bit more information on it, but it'll be up to you once again to make that decision. And that has to go out 30 days prior to taxable status date. And our taxable status date is May 1st. So it would have to go out by, April 1st or March 31st.
So we have to get it out by then.
Yep.
And then, Ron, do we have to have public hearings or anything else? We do. So we.
It's a local law.
Okay. So from a timeline.
So to get that.
Right.
From a timeline standpoint, we're going to try and want to make a decision by March, then have public
yeah.
hearings in April, and then.
Well, we got to send the letter out.
Right. Why do you have to have a public hearing? I'm sorry.
Change it.
Oh, to change the limits, you'd have to have a public hearing, not the notice. The notice has to go out. You don't have to.
Set the public hearing for next month.
I think so.
Correct? Yeah.
And then close
So
it,
we'll schedule.
send out the letter in March, probably go with whatever you recommend.
Okay, sure.
And then people will be noted on that. That would be a
Make a
timeline.
motion, Ron?
Right. So there's no specificity in the law as to who sends the notice out either. Doesn't say the assessor's office sends it out, doesn't say the tax receiver who sends the first notice out.
Send it out from your house.
So, it could come from the town clerk, could come from the supervisor's office.
Okay,
I know. So,
okay.
okay. And then the other thing I was just going to touch on was there's a firefighter's exemption, volunteer firefighter's exemption.
so
And we currently have the existing law, and you have to adopt the new law within 3 years.
Is that, did the governor mention that in her state of the state? Did she mention something about fire? No, she didn't.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah. And right now, the town and the county have it, but the school districts do not. Oh, no, I'm sorry. North Salem has adopted it, but Somers has not.
Okay.
So,
The one part, going back to the senior exemption, the one part of the state law that the county did adopt but so far, I understand the local assessors are pretty vehemently against, is the idea, if I understand it correctly, of adding in the unreimbursed medical expenses of a taxpayer into the equation. The assessors just think that's way too difficult to have adequate evidence of. And at least in the other municipalities I represent, they've all deleted that from the local law.
Okay.
Okay, that is correct. That will be hard to administer. Unfortunately, the county has adopted it. So I have to do it because the county has adopted it.
Anybody can do it.
Exactly.
Oh, you
So-
have to do it.
Yes. So I,
Will they will have to estimate. And there must be some formula, I would suppose, that they can give
it's
you.
not a formula. They'll bring in receipts from CVS. They'll bring in,
Okay.
whatever from their doctor's
had-
offices. And how I know whether or not they're unreimbursed, that's really the
That's-
issue. We don't know whether they were reimbursed for any of it.
That's the issue.
So the double.
Wow.
Understand what's
1040, and the 1040, we'll use the 1040. So that
Yeah.
we'll go by that mostly, but you could also bring in additional receipts and things.
Oh,
There you go.
Okay. There's that.
So what are we looking at that tonight, the firefighter? Or that's at another?
No, we have 3 years.
The firefighter, you have 3 years and essentially you already have the exemption the way the new exemption is. The only difference is you can choose right now, it's 5 years of service. You have the option to choose 2 to 5 years of service if you want to lower the In fact, I had asked the Somers Fire District how many of their firefighters that own property in Somers would be eligible if we lowered the service requirement from 5 to 2 years. 3. So, yeah, so it's not really going to affect that many people.
Okay. So really, we're talking about the
Right.
senior exemption.
The senior exemption is
Whether
really,
to go in. Well, if the county's adopted the whole thing and others have, I suppose that would be the thing to do.
right. I like I said, a lot of the towns are following suit. I know Scarsdale did, I guess. North Castle's going to, Roland?
North Castle set a public hearing last night.
Go for it.
North
Yeah.
Salem's already done it.
North Salem, okay.
all right.
I think Newcastle has done it.
Well, I do think phasing things in is always a little bit less painful, but I would understand here. And like Bill said, well, once every 20 years, if we do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're talking about $80,000 over the course of the town, which is, 1%. And
Right, it's 1%, but I'm not, this is an estimate, so I don't know how many seniors we really have out there that would be entitled to
Yeah.
this, but I would also guess that for the majority of them, the average assessment in the town is $70,000 roughly, but for someone getting this exemption, it's probably half that. It's because it's mostly going to be Heritage Hills and their assessments are very low, so
right.
And you don't know what Somers School District has done?
I have not heard.
We'll,
No, I could email them and see if they.
Well, we think that they would go with what we go. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they have in the past. So in the past, they went with what we did. Yeah,
I would think that's what you do if you're on the school.
they don't have to. There's no
No, they don't have
requirement.
to, but
Every
it's like-
taxing
it's one
entity can
time.
choose their own.
Keep it
Yeah.
consistent.
Right. I know it's
Makes sense to me.
easier. It's easier to administer from my standpoint, but
So unless they have a different idea, I'd say do it.
right. Well, so,
Yeah.
listen, I'm going to make a motion to schedule a public hearing for next month,
Second,
2/9.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moved. Teresa, thank you.
you're welcome.
Teresa, off the top of your head, how many residential units do we have in town?
We have, I just did this, about 8,000.
8,000.
About 8,000, a little more. I emailed Ron. So actually it was altogether, I'm sorry, it was 8,500.
8,500?
8,500 with all commercial.
Oh, so take.
all- About 8,500. So 85, you'd have to do 1% is 85. So you'd have to build 85 units a year for 3 years. If you're going by what,
We have to do 3%, so.
but it's 1% a year.
So
for
that's
3 years.
250.
Yeah.
I was right.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
But I don't think it'll happen. Because how can you force someone to build on a property? You have a bundle of rights when you own property. I mean, I know they can do things to make it, more
Incentivized.
beneficial, right, to do it, incentives to build. So there's that must go with it, because you can't just say we're building 85 units a year. We don't own the property. We can't, it's not that simple. But I think that what they want to do is you want to, reduce some of the onerous requirements as far as zoning or whatever. I think they want to head towards that. So it makes it easier to build things. That's just my.
No, you're not wrong. We just don't necessarily agree with it.
Thank you.
Thank
Teresa.
you.
We just have to develop the farm, Stonewall Farm, right? Once it sells.
Hmm.
No. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, Teresa.
And drive safe.
Thought you were going to buy it.
Maybe I'll win the lottery tomorrow.
There you go.
That'd be great.
Get struck by lightning about 5 times.
Yeah. The odds of getting eaten by a shark.
Might be back in town.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thanks.
My first, can't go anywhere with that.
You almost did.
I'll be back. Car won't start.
All right, let's move on to your number 3 now. So the next set of items here, A through H. These are our annual professional services that we contract out. These are our outside support. So A here is Euro Video Productions. B is going to be our consulting service proposal from Hardesty and Hanover. C is our Bond, Schoenig and King PLLC. That's our labor council. ESI Group Employee Assistance Program. We have our engineering services from Woodard and Curran. We have our planning department support as well from Woodard and Curran. Planning review and development services and planning and development advisors. And then we also have here for last H is Market Capital Advisors LLC, and they look at our bonds. I would like to make a motion for the supervisor, you guys, so I can execute A through H.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So
Can I ask a question? Mr. Robbins is here, who is our engineer. And could you just explain for me? I don't think I understand it entirely, or maybe I do. But the relationship you have on here with app proposal for planning department support from Woodard and Curran. Just explain to me what that is and how that goes into the money not to exceed $72,000, just so I understand that.
Sure. Good evening. I'm Steve Robbins, project manager with Woodard and Curran Engineering. With the retirement in 2021 of Surratt, the town's prior planner, the town engaged both Woodard and Curran and planning and development advisors, Dave Smith, to continue on the job functions that the town's prior in-house planner was performing. So we coordinate, Dave and I, amongst ourselves and with the town's planning and engineering staff to administer the planning functions in town. It's, advising the town, reviewing applications, assisting with grant and funding support, talking with members of the public about the development potential of their properties, inquiries to the town, and matters of that nature. We also prepare the planning board agendas, minutes, and assist with the administration of the planning board under that job function as well. Those are all job functions under the town's in-house planner that the town now works with David and I on.
And coordinate with our office.
And thank you, and coordinate with town council as well.
So
Yes.
I'm just looking at it from a budgetary point of view, and maybe I'm just missing something. It's merged together, and that part I don't quite get. Why don't we pay the planner? We pay the engineer. Why is it that's not something we've ever done in the past? I'm not sure I've ever quite understood it. How does that happen? Why does it happen? Why is it not just two separate entities?
The town has separate contracts right now with two different entities to provide that, because David and planning development advisors only has so much capacity and they have so much expertise. And we at Woodard and Curran only have so much capacity and limits on our expertise as well. So it was really bringing together the best of both services. The town contracts separately David and I have no contractual relationship between us.
I think Richard, maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
We're paying
support.
$72,000 just to Woodard and Curran, and then we pay the other, we pay Dave under a different contract. So the 72 is only going to Woodard and Curran. I know Mike Reed, because it's the planning department.
Yeah, I just want to know where what is that support that, like, we didn't pay that in the past, planning department support.
No, but you had a planner salary, and the combined expenditure between us and PDA is at or less than the prior salary of the planner.
All right, so
Right, at 8 hours a week.
That it's about 8 hours a week of our time.
The last planner and when we had an engineer were full-time.
right.
Well, yes, there's more than that between our time and David's time, but yes.
So again, could you explain to me the word support and what is meant by that? So you're supporting the planning department and
Correct.
Smith,
Correct.
and that support requires
Minutes.
calling people or
Secretary.
minutes?
Yeah, duties as assigned. The core of our function is supporting the applications to the planning department for permits. They might be site plan approval, it might be special use permit renewals or new special use permits. It's also support to the planning board itself in terms of preparing agendas, minutes, and facilitating their actions, helping prepare resolutions for approval of documents. These are all things that we work with town staff and or our own staff to support the town in that function. It also includes working with the various town departments on applying for grants as needed, supporting the town's grant consultant with technical resources as well. All things that the town planner was doing on an in-house basis that are now contracted out.
And I'm sure you've given us that schedule of payments and you bill us hourly.
That's correct.
And the hourly rate is based upon from the principal
Yes.
down to whatever the intern.
It's a blend of staff that support the
That's
town.
how it's billed out,
Correct. And that rate table is part of our agreement with the town.
up to a total of 72,000 a year, unless you get prior authorization to go over that.
Or yes, up to that amount, typically less.
Yes. Okay, I'm getting the idea. Thank you.
No problem. Let me know if there's any other questions that you have. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
When am I going to get?
Thanks,
well?
Dave.
That's actually.
I'd like to know that. 28 days. I would like to know. We have a couple add-ons here. Patty, we're going to add on a number 4 here. This here is a preliminary plan that Woodard and Curran designed for us for the Department of Health for our business historic district. I would like to make a motion so the supervisor can execute this proposal.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Okay. And then number 5, one more add on here. This just came to us the other day. Time is of the essence here. I'd like to make a motion to purchase 1 or 2 Chevy Malibus not to exceed $25,000 each. As people out there have known that we've been trying to get some cars to our fleet here in the last couple months, but been unsuccessful going out to bid for them. And we have an opportunity to get 2 Chevy Malibus here. I'd like to make a motion to purchase 1 or 2 of those Chevy Malibus.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Let me just say, someone asked me this question, looked at the agenda. Why isn't the town has bought electric vehicles? We have electric charging. Why don't we buy electric vehicles? And the answer is, I am told, you can't get them. We need the vehicles, but you can't get the electric vehicles. That would be the first preference of the town, but the preference just isn't possible under the time constraints of when we need the vehicle. So.
Yeah, we've looked at a bunch of, like you said, some electric vehicles and just been unsuccessful
We have,
in acquiring them.
so yeah, but we do have some, when we were able to get them before the, pandemic and all that, we have 3 or 4 of them, somewhere in that neighborhood.
In 2022, we did it twice.
Yeah, we did it
Mhm.
twice. Yeah, we got them.
So
Yeah,
they're
we didn't get it.
tough to get.
Yeah, wow.
Yep. Okay, let's move on to other business here. There's nothing for Parks and Recreation, nothing for financial. There is nothing for additional business for highway personnel here. We do have current vacancies available for our various boards. Again, if you are interested in those board positions, please reach out to us and we'll set up some time. All of our current vacancies are on our website as well. We'll reappoint the other people next month. Okay. That's 1 and 2 there. Let's go number 3. Authorize the appointment of Allison Colella to the Somers Library Board of Trustees to fill one of 2 newly created positions on the board for a 5-year term ending effective January 1st, 2023 and ending December 31st, 2027. I'd like to make a motion to authorize the appointment of Allison Colella.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did we meet her?
Yeah, she came in.
Yeah.
We did.
Oh, you might have been.
Oh,
late.
that was the last.
Yeah.
Okay. I said practice
Are you
You would have liked her. Don't worry.
sick?
mentally.
All right. Number 4, acknowledge the failed probation of employee with ADP ID number 099352 as a motor equipment operator. He has returned to his prior job title and skilled road maintainer effective November 14, 2022. Per memo dated January 6, 2023 from Nicholas DeVito, Superintendent of Highways. There is nothing here for planning and engineering. There is no additional business for the police. Consensus agenda. Patty, as presented, please.
Make a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to the consensus agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Calendar of dates here. Our next meeting will be February 2nd at 7:00. That's our work session. We also have February 9th, again at 7:00. That's our town board regular meeting. Then again in March 2nd and March 9th, both starting at 7 p.m. Town board work session and town board regular meeting. We have
Don't forget to bring back some back. So
yes.
Oh,
Yes. Thanks, Patty,
Steak night.
we went a whole day without a whole year without having the fun facts. And I said, Patty, listen, we need to figure out something to replace our COVID-19 update. So
Oh, no, I look forward. I'm glad I made the meeting.
yeah, so I always said to so you have any fun facts here?
I have a good fun fact for today.
So why don't you want to read
You do the
it?
announcement. Do we have any announcements?
Oh, we do have some
Do the
announcements.
announcements first and then we end with the fun
No, then
fact.
we do that. So here, so we do have some announcements. I want to thank everybody who donated to the blood drive on January 6th. It was a very big collection, 39 pints, and that was a week after the holiday. So that was an awesome job from everybody who came out. And so thank you for everybody for coming out to that blood drive here. Department of Public Services will hold 2 public hearings on the proposed NYSEG rate increases. Thursday, January 26th, 2023. And then there's 2 sessions, one at 1 and it goes to 3 and one at 5:30 going to 7:30. That's Heritage Hills Activity Center, 8 Heritage Hills Drive in Somers. We also have something here that has come before me as well. If you have questions regarding the suspension of the sales tax on home heating, Westchester County has asked residents call them. So they actually have New York State Tax Department Information Center. It's 1-518-485-2889. And there's a directory to get you there, a prompt system as well. And that takes me to my announcement. So Patty, if you have
Okay, so
Right.
my fun fact for January 12th is in 1969, the Jets actually won their epic win over the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl number 3, 16-7.
Joe
Their
Namath.
first and only, and let's
Editorializing.
Yeah, that little added.
Joe Montana.
yeah.
Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Joe Namath, come on.
I feel like that.
He was in the 80s.
Guaranteed, guaranteed.
fact.
Guaranteed win.
Want to read that one? No, I like you. I like yours.
Like the other one?
That was good. I don't have anything else for tonight. Anybody else?
Well, to follow along with that theme, I'd have to say go Giants on Sunday.
Minnesota.
They're done.
Yeah. Well, if anybody has
Never
anything
say
else,
die.
I'd like to make a motion to close out tonight's regular meeting here at 7:45-ish.
Second?
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
So moved.